Hi, everyone. Welcome to Retreat. This is a really exciting time that we are able to be together and welcome you to our very first virtual-ish fall retreat, where we hope this weekend we will be able to talk about the topic of coming and resting in Jesus's presence. And so, to get us started, I wanted to introduce myself and Josh, and we will be the two people who, from your screens, most of the time, will be leading this retreat. And it's exciting that for some of you guys, you have the ability to meet in person. But we also know that having small group together online through Zoom is still going to be a great place of sharing and processing what God is bringing up in your life. And so, yeah, Josh, do you want to share a little bit about yourself as we kind of get this retreat rolling?
Yes. Yeah, my name's Josh. I graduated last year. And yeah, I majored in film and television, but right now I'm on volunteer staff for AACF. And yeah, something interesting that happened recently. I recently got a chance to work on a film set. So yeah, that was pretty
Ooh.
cool. So yeah, back to you.
Yeah, Josh has been busy. Um, And yeah, my name is Katie. Hopefully, everyone kind of knows me or knows my face. But I'm excited to, with Josh, be helping to facilitate this retreat. And as you guys know, I staff both the IVME chapter and the AA chapter. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing what God will be doing and how He will be speaking to you guys during this time. And I think just one of the things that I'm constantly reminded of in this season is that, um, technology and being online is not a limitation for God. And He does work through Zoom calls. He does work through just this small rectangular space. And so I'm eager to see just like what comes up when we talk about a topic like rest, something that maybe some of you guys think about, or perhaps for others, it's like something that you'll do later on because right now is not the time to rest. Or maybe rest for others, like this year you have been able to dabble in it, that you have set up healthy rhythms of resting. And so wherever you are coming from, we think that this could be a really great topic to be exploring in this part of like time that we're in right now. So with all that, you guys, whether you received it in the mail or as an actual package that I handed to you in person, in the package, you should all have a brochure or I don't know what this is called, a pamphlet. And inside is all the information that you will probably need to guide you along with these videos for retreat. And so yeah, like I said, our theme this year is come and rest with Jesus. And we hope that this topic of rest will be something that causes you to pause and to reflect and to think about ways that either you could rest more, ways that you could rest differently, and ultimately ways that actually Jesus invites us to rest that is different from the different concepts that we have available to us today. And so, with all those words, we are going to send you into your first small group time. And how this YouTube video thing is going to work is basically throughout this evening in this video, Josh and I will guide you to moments of reflection or discussion. And so, after a section, we will give you some time to just chat. Or some time to reflect, and we'll tell you, hey, okay, it's time to pause the video and do the thing that we suggested. And so right now, as you guys are kicking off retreat in small groups, The first thing that we're inviting you to do is to hit the button and kind of have like an intro time for yourself. Share about yourselves, begin to share about how your semester is doing. We don't really have any icebreaker questions, but hopefully you guys can think of something to, yeah, just begin breaking the ice as we have this 24-hour retreat together. So with that, press the pause button and come back in about 10 minutes.
Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you guys had a good introduction time, and yeah, hope you guys got to know each other a little better, and hope you guys got to talk and catch up, or just get to know the person or each other for the first time. But yeah, I mean, as Katie said, we're focusing on come and rest, and it actually comes from Matthew 11 verses 28 to 30, and I'm just gonna quickly read it and give my 2 cents on why I think coming and resting is important. So yeah, Matthew 11 verses 28 to 30. Um, Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So yeah, I mean, if you guys maybe listen to the previous podcast that me and Katie did, I talked a little bit about like how I kind of, I guess, got my life together in my senior year, and I do think a lot of that did come down to this come and rest aspect that we're talking about right now. Yeah, I think what coming and resting, I guess, was able to do for me was have this separate time where I really set aside to, I guess, reflect and just allow God to be seen and heard in my mind, especially. And I guess why this it was important to me was because um previously I would, I guess, just categorize rest as this time where I would just, like, I guess, finish all my schoolwork and just like have like free time, I guess, and that would like kind of count as my rest. But this aspect that we're trying to really get at is a purposeful rest, where it's not just something that you kind of like stumble upon or happen upon because you have time, but it's really something that you put aside and, like, I guess, um just really like put on, not think of it as something that like comes and goes, but really put on, like, I guess, some sort of pedestal where, like, oh, this is my time that I can come and rest and be in God's presence. And the thing um that I think that does in comparison to just like allowing yourself to rest when you have time is that because you set aside this time, it's just like set in your schedule. So because of that, you kind of have to plan your schedule around that rest time instead of the other way around. And I guess we'll get more into that later, but just by doing that, you have like this set time where you allow yourself to connect to God, and you allow yourself to prioritize that rest and that connection with God above like your schoolwork, above like anything else that you're doing. And I think that really was I guess the turning point for me when I was trying to get my life together in my senior year. So I mean, that's just like my brief 2 cents on the topic. And yeah, I mean, hopefully yeah, we'll talk about it more later, but yeah, hopefully you guys get some of that's kind of me and Katie's prayer for what God can do during this retreat. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Yeah, I really liked and appreciated Josh's word about just how rest, I think, in what we'll realize in this passage is that it's meant to be purposeful, it's
Mm-hmm.
meant to be intentional, and that's how Josh and I hope to lead you guys in this time. And so our next moment of hitting the pause button is coming up. And to really just help each and every one of you guys personally enter into retreat, this first part is actually going to be some individual time for your reflection on how your semester has been. And so I know that sometimes if you look at like the schedule for retreat this year, it looks pretty like organized. Like there's like hour by hour, there's something you should or shouldn't be doing, and then there's like moments that it literally says rest. And so maybe some of you guys are like, this is not how I really like to rest. But for the sake of this retreat, we have thought about it in a way that Josh and I think will just help you best step into the things that God has for you in this time. And we do believe that it first begins with giving yourself some space to just think about how you're doing. And so in a moment on the screen, there will be just like a set of questions for you to be thinking about during your reflection time. And also there's this optional mood board activity that Josh will explain soon, that we think like maybe that'll be a creative way for you to also reflect and also have something to do hands-on as you're just thinking about like what this semester has been like for you. So yeah, Josh, do you want to take a moment to explain this mood board activity?
Yes. Yeah. Definitely consider the questions that we've given you, and I mean, I think at least you should take at least a little bit of time, just like sit there, I guess, in silence and like kind of think about it. But for people who like to process, more visually, or just like, I guess, want to do something more hands-on, you can create a mood board, and what that is basically, I honestly, it's like whatever you want it to be, but I guess you can either do it virtually, like on the computer. I don't know. You could use maybe Google PowerPoint. No, wait, Google.
Google
What is it? PowerPoint, I
Slides.
guess. Yeah, Google Slides. Sorry, Google Slides. Or you can do what I did. This is so embarrassing. I'm so bad. I had a piece of cardboard, and the only magazine I had was a Uniqlo like fashion magazine, but basically I found like a thing that said fall/winter 2020, and then I like kind of just cut out words that kind of represented how I felt. And I mean, you guys can either do that like on Google Slides, or if you have like a magazine and just like some piece of cardboard, some glue. Um, I usually don't really enjoy making these, but honestly, when I was making it, it was kind of fun. So
Yay.
I think you guys should give it a shot. And yeah, I mean, what it's meant to do is like help you, I guess, um, put into pictures or put into words kind of like what you're feeling on the inside. And I know a lot of people have trouble, I guess, just like, yeah, just really putting into words like what they're feeling. So yeah, the mood board is just something that can, facilitate that, help you guys creatively, I guess, express how you're feeling. And yeah, definitely connect this mood board to like the questions that we've posted. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys want, you can take a moment to look at your packets. All of what we just said is available on page 3 and 4. So on page 3, it has like all the questions and the invitation for you as you reflect and like kind of why we're giving you guys this time to do it. And then on the back side, there's a whole section for the mood board, and it kind of explains a little bit more about what it is and stuff like that. So of course, the mood board is optional, but we think that it still is like a great way for you to think and process, and also just, I don't know, something for you to take away from retreat too. So yeah, hit the pause button. You have about 30-ish minutes for this time, and then after that, you can come back to this video. Okay, welcome back, everyone. We are approaching the end of our time, which we still have a lot of time, but that's because this last portion is about group sharing. And so there are a few things that Josh and I would like to ask you to share with one another about. There are a few practical things, and then there's also the space for you to kind of share with your small group what it is that you've been reflecting about previously. And so, one of the first things that we'd like you to practically just talk about is, this retreat is very different in the sense that the only time you get to see Josh and I is either through YouTube or, every so often on Zoom. And because, like, one of our hopes is that we would try to not use Zoom as much. Sorry for those who are virtual, that is something you still have to use.
Mhm.
But we are trying our best to not use Zoom as much. And because of that, I have a few things just like practically on the staff side that we don't necessarily get to ask you guys to do. So this is why we want you to make some space now to talk about it. Um, and so, one of the first things is I'd like you guys to just kind of share with each other your communication style. Because a lot of this time is just like you have some individual reflection space and then you have time to share out loud. So, later on tomorrow, there won't be as much time to think individually. But if you find yourself as like an internal processor or just somebody who appreciates like 2-3 minutes of quiet on your own before you actually share or like even have the ability to really think about what other people are saying, it would be good to let your small group know so that as a small group, you guys can just center yourselves around the people in your small group. So, yeah, have some time to talk about how you communicate and whether you would appreciate like jumping right into discussion or having some time to reflect right before. Also, tomorrow morning we will be back at 10 a.m. And so this is more of an announcement. But if you guys haven't figured out where you'll be meeting tomorrow morning for devotions, it'd be good to talk about that. So there's no mystery or confusion later this evening or tomorrow morning about it, and you can truly rest knowing that there's something to do tomorrow and where to go. Um, and finally, the other thing that you guys will have to make a decision around is part of the activity tomorrow is around taking a walk. And this means like going outside and actually walking. And so you guys can decide if you want to walk somewhere together as a small group, or if you would prefer to do it on your own. Or maybe you like go to the same location, but then you guys go to different walks and then you say you'll meet up at another point at a different time. But yeah, you should talk about where you want to go, how you want to do this walk, and what best would serve you when it comes to this retreat about rest. So the three things to chat about outside of reflection is what is your communication style? Where will you have morning devos tomorrow? And do you want to walk together? Where do you want to walk together? And stuff like that. So that's the practical side that we hope that you'll talk about. And Josh will now share the questions we hope that you'll talk about as a small group to help each other process what has been coming up in this beginning few hours of retreat.
So, if you guys made a mood board like I did, make sure you put it up, share it, present. Um, yeah, and I mean, if you guys are having a little trouble sharing, these are some questions that me and Katie prepared. So, the first one is you can share your load about what you've been carrying this semester. And has this burden affected you, your relationship with God? Um, or has it either strengthened your relationship with God? Either or. The second question is, how easy or difficult has it been to come to Jesus this semester? I know because of COVID and quarantine, I know a lot of people are struggling with their faith, or they're really thriving with Jesus, just having that alone time. So yeah, share whether it's been easy or difficult. Um, Third question is, Are there other things in your mind right now that you anticipate may pull you away from time with God and community during our time of retreat? Consider telling the people you're with about it right now and offering it to God right now as faith to his testament, or like a testament to how much faith you have in the way that he can work through this retreat.
Mm.
um, and yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys don't come into this with any skepticism or I guess any doubt. And yeah, I think this may be a good time to also offer that up, and just yeah, have this time to just really come and prepare yourself to rest in God's presence. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we hope that you have a good small group discussion. When you hit pause, you probably have 30 to 45 minutes. I don't really know where you are in the timing of things, but just know at 8:45, we are going to be online for worship. And so all that we ask is at 8:45 or just before, you would log on to Zoom so that you can join us for communal musical worship. And so, yeah, we look forward to seeing you in live virtually in person then. And until then, we hope that you have a good small group sharing time.